guys, welcome back to another video. Today, as you can see in the title, we're doing a 2-month review on this Camaro SS1LE, which I realized my head was in front of. My lens is getting a little foggy here because I'm kind of running low on time and I can't wipe it off quite. Alright, well, anyways, I've had this for 2 months now, and I really need to get out here and do a review on it because I don't have a lot of time. Now, obviously, like I said in the title, this is from a MOPAR owner perspective. I'm not a MOPAR owner anymore, but as you can see from my my channel, it's a lot of MOPAR cars that I've had in the past and a lot of MOPAR reviews and stuff. So that's all I can compare it to, really. So, I mean, let's go ahead and hop in the car and I will talk to you all about it. One really good reason why I really love this car is and also, it's just like, it does this thing where it... And then, like, my favorite reason, alright, so as you guys, if you've been subscribed to me for a long time, you know that I started out with MOPAR. So I had a Dart, and then I had a Challenger, then I had a Charger, and then I had a Ram. So before that, I had the Nissan, but I was working at Dodge dealerships. Put this windows up. I was working at Dodge dealerships, and I had a lot of experience with the MOPAR. Well, 2 Dodge dealerships actually. I had a lot of experience with MOPAR, and I've driven a few Camaros, and I really liked the Camaro. So that was like the one car that I really did want, was this car actually, before I had the MOPARs, but you know, it didn't have enough space for me. It was a little too cramped, even though I'm a small guy, and it was actually more expensive than like an RT Challenger or whatever. So I ended up getting an RT Challenger. So now here we are with this Camaro SS1LE. It's 2017. I'm loving it so far. I'm a stay-at-home dad. If you guys didn't know, I'll put a link to the video right here. I'm a stay-at-home dad, so I have like no time to drive it. I mean, I guess I could drive with Ella, but I mean, that's like, I'm not like really driving. If I have her in the car, I'm not doing anything crazy. It's just like putting around town, maybe going somewhere. I'll drive it like 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 4, like pushing it. So I mean, I wash it and I put it under a cover, and that's how it stays. So, which is fine with me because I've never had a car, a really nice car that I can just like park and feel like, dang, it is a really nice car. I drive it. It's so nice I don't drive it. So, oh yes. Oh, so 2 months has been pretty good. I'm like really happy I got this car. I wish it had a little more torque. I have like a few complaints. I mean, like right up here on the windshield when you drive, if you have the AC on at all, it does this little thing where you can barely even see right there. I mean, you can't see as it is. Like, I barely have, like, I'm sitting here, thumb at the bottom of the windshield, fingers at the top. This is how much space I have to see anything. Can't see behind me, obviously. Everybody knows I got bubbles. That's like how you fix that problem. I don't know why everybody complains about that. Just put bubbles on your mirrors. It's easy. So, I mean, you know, you can't see, it's cramped, you know, whatever. I didn't buy this car to have a lot of space right now. I hope I can get a different car, like a daily. The vents down here are like really close to your hands, which is, you know, like when you drive, your hand gets really freaking cold. This AC actually gets really cold, so I guess it's a good thing. And I mean, compared to my Scat Pack, which is like the closest thing I can compare it to, because that's the best performance car I've had. And I guess I'll compare it to other cars I've driven. Compared to like the Scat Pack, it feels it's hard to explain. Scat Pack had torque wherever you. I mean, I started at 2 grand, punch it, and it was just spin tires, torque, speed, all the way through the rev range, and hit it at 4 grand, 5 grand, 6 grand. It had torque everywhere, it had power everywhere, and you felt like it was just dramatic, like rah, and you were just moving. This doesn't really have a lot of low end torque. Let me see. I'm at like 1750, 5th gear. Not that much torque. I can't really do it. There's a car in front of me. But to really get it, like, if you're giving somebody a ride in a car and you want them to like feel like they're in a really torquey like muscle car and it's like throwing them back, you got to get it up to like, you got to get up to 4,400 RPM. I think I've heard somewhere that's where it makes its power at is its 450s at 4,400. It's actually pretty early because the red line's at 6,500, which is kind of weird. But the power is 450 horsepower. I mean, it has less power than the Scat Pack, obviously, which is, you know, I expected to not feel like it had the same amount of horsepower, but it's weird because it feels like it's faster, especially when you get higher up in the rev range and you're like rolling through the gears. It feels like it's going, and the confidence level in this thing is amazing. Like, going around corners is freaking great. As you guys saw, probably I slid a little bit. It's because I had turned traction control off. This is like a million different traction control settings. Like, you could click it once, turn it off, hold it down and turn it really off. That's how you do donuts and burnouts and stuff. And then you can hold it down and you can press it once and hold it down again, and you got, let me see. Okay, wet. It had wet, dry, Sport 1, Sport 2, and track, which I was like, I didn't know it had all those options, which I don't know what to even say about that. Hey, that's my friend's house right there. Gotta rev it up so you know I passed him. I never noticed he lived right there. One of my only friends I've made here. I made like 3 friends here. So anyways, I mean, this car has, mind you, 50,800 miles on it right now. I bought it with, I think it had, I want to say it had right under 50,000 miles, and I drove it all the way back home, and so just got over 50,000. So I literally haven't even driven it 1,000 miles, I want to say. So, I mean, I can't wait to, I mean, I've driven a bunch of other Camaros before. My friend has that video, a Z011 LE with like 700 wheel horsepower right here. That was freaking insane. I love that. Let me get some rev matching for you guys here. Oh, love that sound. And you just turn it in and it just goes. See, once you get past 4 grand, it's just like pulling. It's almost like, I won't say turbos or anything like that, but like there's like nothing, and then it's like 4 grand, and you just start going and you shift, and it's just like, then it's really going. You feel like you're in a freaking a true sports car, right? So, oh, there's a cop right there too. I'm glad I'm slowing down here. Yeah, no low end, a lot of high end. I got the wing on the back, so you can really feel when you got aero on it. Like in the Z01 that I drove, it had 700 wheel horsepower. Like I said, it oh my gosh, dude, you'd be driving, you wouldn't even feel like you were going 120 miles an hour, but I mean, it was so stable, like insanely stable. And the only thing I can compare that to is working at Porsche and going around corners in a Porsche. That it was stable like that. I'm not even exaggerating. That's why they say it's a good competitor to like a Cayman GTS or even a base 911 or something like that. I mean, obviously it's not as much technology, but it does have the magnetic ride control, which is actually pretty awesome, and the StabiliTrak and the electronic slip differential. I can't say that like normal. I have to say it like that because I sound drunk if I say it any other way. Now, another thing I don't like about it is it has 2 sets of cats. Not 2 cats, it has 2 sets of cats, like a Mercedes or something. So you got the 2 that have the sensor in it, like right after the engine, then you got 2 right after that don't really do, I mean, they do something, obviously, because they're there, but they don't really do anything except for quiet the car down, which is, now that I think about it, is probably another reason why Dodge had to pay so much money, because this car had a huge muffler in it that took out, and then Dodge, when you take out the mufflers in Dodge, or the Scat Packs, there's just 2 little mufflers in the middle compared to like a muffler like this. It's 2 little mufflers in the middle, and then you got 2 resonators in the back that are like that big. Like, they're not, that's probably why Dodge had to pay so much in that penalty like a few years ago, which is like, kudos to them, first of all, for taking that for the Dodge fans. Like, that's pretty awesome. But I mean, this car is, obviously, I feel like out of the three, the Camaro, the Mustang, and the Challenger, this is not a muscle car anymore. I keep telling people that, they're like, oh, Challenger's too big, too fat, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, it's a muscle car. It's supposed to be big and fat and not like good around corners. Like, that's not what you buy a muscle car for. If you want something like a sports car that goes around corners, you get this. This is Camaro. It's like the baseline type of sports car you can get. Well, I wouldn't say. I guess the like Nissan like 400Z and all that stuff, Miatas and whatnot. I want to say, I don't know if those are sports cars or not. I don't really know what to call those. But this is what you get if you want to go around corners and stuff. Obviously, you're gonna compromise on space. You can't get anything into the trunk because the trunk space is, the space of the trunk is actually decent. It's not like great, but getting it into the trunk is like, it's a small little space. So that's one downside. But I mean, anyways, this ownership has been pretty freaking great. Everybody around here is loving it. There's no cars like mine around here. It's usually a bunch of old classic cars, which is cool and all that. But it's not a, that's different, like, you know what I mean? That's a different group of people. So everywhere I drive, I'm turning heads, so I gotta be careful. I'm the only, like, there's one Z01, white one, looks just like mine, 1LE, but he's like 45 minutes away. And I haven't seen any other, I've seen Camaros, like older Camaros, like V6s, and I've seen like a older SS, but there's no like, this is a 1LEs that look like a race car driving through this town and whatnot. I mean, I've seen an R8 and a GTS, but you don't see these cars around here. All in all, this ownership, I mean, so far it's been nothing but freaking great. People might think I'm shitting on Chevy right now when I say this, but since I was a part of the MOPAR groups and the Scat Pack groups, Challenger, Charger groups on Facebook, I'm part of like 5 different ones that have like thousands and tens and thousands of people in them. And since I have this car, I've joined, you know, Camaro groups. There's like 6 I'm in, maybe 5 or something like that. And every day, almost every day, every other day, I'm seeing like engine problems, electrical problems, engine lost power, and the car just shut up on them. All kinds of weird crap going on. And when I was in the Challenger and Charger group, I didn't see any of that. I'm not joking or anything, because I obviously have the Camaro. I'm just saying what I see. Like, just people always getting their car towed, even like brand new ones, dude. It's pretty insane. But I mean, I gotta extend a warranty on this, so hopefully nothing happens with this bad boy, because I do want to take it to the track, and I need to check and see if I track it, if anything. Ooh, that'll be something to think about. Try to chase that out. Oh my gosh. Yeah! Woo! Holy crap, that was the highest one. This one's gonna be freaking crazy. Woo! Okay.